Welcome to the CiconePrince.com show starring your man, Cicone Prince. Cicone is an international recognized motivational speaker that focuses on personal development and leadership development. He does this through thought-provoking keynotes, life-changing books, and powerful group coaching sessions. Cicone is a transformational speaker, award-winning author, editor of a globally read online magazine, and conference host. Please welcome your host, Cicone Prince.
Hello everybody, welcome to the CiconePrince.com show. I'm your host, Cicone Prince. And I can't tell you how excited I am to get started with this particular episode, because we're going to help you get your brand together. That's right, get your brand together with none other than our guest, Karen KJ Johnson. But that's coming up later in the show. But listen, I want to talk to you about how people view you. That's right, how people view you. What does your name mean? When someone mentions your name, what comes to people's mind? What are you known for? That's a question only you can answer. Because you are in control of what people, not what they think about you, but what they know about you. And sharing information. I remember telling somebody several weeks ago, let your life outlive their lie. Somebody can lie on you, and people do it all the time. But if you keep living, your life will prove whether or not they told the truth or a lie. If it's a lie, your life would outlive their lie. So your name and your brand, all of that is one and the same. Because until you become a global phenomenon or a national company, you are your brand. What you do, what you say, how you act, how you respond, that reflects on you. And so make sure that you have a name that's worth knowing. Don't just say people know my name. Make sure that you're someone worth knowing. Because there are a lot of people that are famous. There are a lot of people that are infamous. There are a lot of people that are known, but are there a lot of people that are worth knowing? And our thing is to make sure that you have the character needed to be someone that's worth knowing. Someone that's worth getting to know, because you have something to offer the world. You realize that you have a gift, an ability, a talent. You have something that you can give to the world. Dr. Miles Monroe said that the fruit isn't for the tree. I'm going to say that again for those that are taking notes. The fruit isn't for the tree. Meaning that your gift, your ability, and your talents isn't for you. It's for someone else. It's to help someone else. It's to help benefit someone else. I mean, yes, you may get paid for it. In fact, you may get some compliments or some, in fact, residuals from it. But it's not just for you. Even your ability to sing. It's not just so you can hear yourself, but it's to bless others. But there are people that are good at numbers. They are accountants. There are other people that are good at laws and arguing cases. They are lawyers. There are other people that are good at organizing. But whatever your gift, your talents, or your abilities are, it's not for you. And my thing is, you should become known for what it is you're passionate about. What it is that's near and dear to your heart. It should become your brand. So every time you show up to a situation or to a circumstances, you should be showing up as your best possible self. And I know some days that can be challenging because you don't feel like it. You may be upset. Things may not be going the way you want them to be, but give it the best that you have. Because in doing so, you'll start to build a brand of a name that's worth knowing. Listen, I can't really say this is fresh out the vault because it was quite recent when I did this, but okay, I'll stick with it. Here's a video that's fresh out the vault. Will your name become an icon? Hi, this is Cicone Prince of CiconePrince.com, where we make motivation personal by introducing you to yourself. I'm also the founder of Next Level Leadership Summit, where we're leading the way. And I want to know, will your name it become an icon? When I mention Beyonce, Oprah, Tony Robbins, John Maxwell, Les Brown, when I mention those individuals, you immediately think of what they're associated with. Oprah is, she is a media mogul and she has a brand. Tony Robbins is the guy that will help get you where you need to be. John Maxwell is all about leadership. Beyonce is a record-breaking, Grammy Award-winning artist. But what will your name? When will it become an icon? And then the question is, an icon for what? People will look at you and they will see where you are right now. They'll see what you're doing. They'll see what's important to you. And they'll start to form an opinion. Now, of course, their opinion doesn't have to become your reality. You have a say-so in what people think and understand about you just by what you do. And of course, there are people that will lie on you, but let your life outlive their lie. I'm going to say that again for those. I need to tweet that. Let your life outlive their lie. Somebody once told this story about how a lie can be halfway around the world before the truth puts on its shoes. And the reason a lie travels so fast because it doesn't have long to live. But you need to let your life outlive their lie. Meaning that what you are known for should silence all the critics. And I'm so excited because I know that in you have an opportunity to become an icon. You have an opportunity when people speak your name, they think of someone who didn't give up, someone who didn't throw in the towel, someone who stood for something worth living for. You have an opportunity right now to make a difference in the world in which you live. But will you? Years from now, will anybody be able to say anything positive about you? Will they be able to talk about the impact that you've made, the difference you made in their life? Will your name become an icon? I'm looking to have my name become an icon in the area of personal development and leadership. Because to me, there's nothing more important than development as a person. And then once you do that, you can help develop others. So I'm working on my icon status right now. What about you? What do people know you for? What have you done to this point to where they have an opinion about you based on what you've done? And again, their opinion doesn't necessarily have to be your reality, but you can form an opinion that is worth talking about. You can live a life that is worth talking about. You can leave a legacy that's worth remembering. So I want to encourage you, if you haven't done so already, I want you to give some serious thought to the life that you can live, to the life that you can lead, and to the legacy that will stand the test of time. Again, and I'm gonna have to tweet that out. I got to do that. When I finish, I'm tweeting that out. Let your life outlive their lie. Hey, this is Cicone Prince of CiconePrince.com and Next Level Leadership Summit. And we want to know, will your name become an icon? And look, I asked you to like and share this video. And don't forget, we have our book is out and it is selling like hotcakes. I just got some in today and half of those are already gone. So if you haven't done so already, you can go to Amazon and get Leadership That Lasts, passing on 10 solid principles to ensure an enduring legacy. Listen, we thank you for watching and we'll talk to you soon. Bye. I don't normally do this after I do a fresh out the vault video, but I had to come back and say that your name can be an icon. Your name can be an icon. You can represent something, but if you do it with excellence, if you do it with your whole heart, if you pour yourself into it, you can become an icon in your own right. So again, what will you be known for? What will your legacy be? I'm not doing a shameless plug for my book, but the reality is when people think about you, even after you're long gone, what's going to come to mind? What will they remember? What will be your legacy? What will be your brand? What will your name mean? Those are questions that truly, truly only you can answer. Hey, listen, we're going to take a quick break and we're going to get into this interview with none other than Karen KJ Johnson. We'll see you in a minute. Daytime television is about to be turned on its head by the CiconePrince.com show. The show focuses on personal development and leadership development with one-of-a-kind segments, engaging guests, and information to help you be a better version of yourself. Tune in every Wednesday to the CiconePrince.com show.
Please welcome your host, Cicone Prince.
We all have to work hard like that.
Right. Man, it's about time for us to get started.
Well, we are. It's we live. We just waiting on you, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Good morning, men of God. Welcome to the National Men's Prayer Call.
And you know that I'm the Messiah. And on that rock, I'll be able to build your faith, your ministry, your identity, everything based on that fundamental knowledge that you know my identity.
Most of us are trying to game plan these different areas of life. Like, how am I going to win in my business? How am I going to, get this relationship right? How am I going to lose that 20 or 30 pounds, right? That COVID-19 that a lot of us put on. Like, we got plans for everything else, but what is the God plan?
Today's episode is brought to you in part by Nanny Night Night. Nanny Night Night is a free podcast that you can use to put your toddler to sleep. To listen, go to anchor.fm/Nanny Night Night. Nanny Night Night, bedtime stories for beautiful souls.
And good night, the old lady whispering, hush. Good night, stars. Good night, air. Good night, noises everywhere. And good night, beautiful little souls.
Hey, welcome back. I can't tell you how excited I am to have our special guest today. She is Karen KJ Johnson of KJ Strategy Design Studio, and she's going to help you have a brandtastic day. But I want Karen to tell you a little bit about herself. So KJ, introduce yourself.
Yes, Cicone, thank you so much. It is always an honor and privilege, right, when you are invited to someone's show. So again, thank you so much. All right, listeners, my name is Karen KJ Johnson. As Cicone has said, I am the founder, owner, and brand master coach of KJ Strategy Design Studio. That organization is a brand development consultancy working primarily, if you will, with African-American sisters, right, to help them unlock the essence of their core, help them to regain their confidence so that they can rock their brand brilliance to the world. So I am so excited to be able to help sisters to really find out who they are and own their power.
Well, that's great. That is great. We know for a fact that you are going to be able to share some stuff that's going to help our listeners and our viewers actually get to the next level of their brandness. So, KJ, tell the people what it is that you do that to help develop yourself to become the person that you are. What are some of the things you've done in the past that has helped develop you to be who you are today?
Yes, thanks so much for that question, Cicone. You know what? I am an educator at my heart. So one of the things that I definitely truly believe in doing is that you must invest in yourself. And so how do I go about doing that, right? So whether it's workshops, whether it's webinars, whether it's conferences, whether it's reading books, or even going back to school, right, and taking a class. So I always make sure, Cicone, that I set aside time. Usually I will do that on a Friday. Friday is kind of my learning day. Just so happened, right, it's kind of light with clients. So I make sure I set aside that time to do so. And in fact, I'm actually reading two books. One is by the New York bestselling author, Guy Hendricks. He wrote the book called The Big Leap. And one of the things that he talks about in that book is for us to really find and work in our area of genius. Right. And then the second book I'm reading which is by Rachel Rogers. She is a business consultant and coach, and she wrote a book. And I love this, Cicone, right? Because she's really about helping sisters as well, really women of color, right? But she wrote a book that's called We All Should Be Millionaires. And I'm telling you, she has jam packed that book just really with a lot of decisions, right? Really helping women say, hey, you got to make $1 million decisions. You got to make $1 million boundaries, right? And so it's really about setting those things up, right? And then, right, implementing them, Cicone, because one of the things that, we hear all the time is that knowledge is power, right? But I teach and tell everyone who listens that knowledge is not power until it is put into action. Right. So many times we go to conferences, we go to workshops, right? We're on events such as this one, and we're taking notes. And then when we leave the event, we close the notepad, we close the electronic device, and we never go back and look at it, and we never implement it. And guess what? We find ourselves in the same spot. So, Cicone, one of the biggest things that I really tell people is, while there may be a lot of information shared, write down 2 takeaways and put those things truly into action, because that's the only way that you can improve and get better, and then therefore turn around and help someone else.
And that is so true. And, I've learned that even myself, once you actually conquered something, or once you've actually gotten some headway in something, the next logical step is to turn around and help somebody else. And like a good friend of mine, Wendell Graham, said to a 3rd grader, a 5th grader is a genius. and just because you know something, you may know something that somebody else doesn't. And so you can actually reach back and help them. So speaking along those lines, how have you used the stuff that you've learned to actually help other people to develop and be a better version of themselves?
Yeah. And you know what, Cicone, it is not easy. Let me just say this first and foremost. It is not easy for us as humans to make changes, right? And why is that? Because we get in a place of comfort, right? We get in a place of comfort. And one of the things that, I have a corporate client. So usually every 2nd week of the month, I do a sales training, actually. And one of the things I always talk about is change is always a challenge until it's done, right? So think about that. A change is always a challenge until it's done. None of us like change. Like, we just don't want to do it. But the key is you got to push beyond your comfort zone. In fact, this past Monday, right, I do a show called The Brand I Am Show. And I was really talking about, you hear all the time, right? We have everything that we need within us, right? To really manifest the things that we do. And so I was talking about, right? You are this fish and you are in this huge ocean, and yet you swim in this one little area close to shore. Right. And so when you really kind of think about that, it's right in front of us. But a lot of times, just our own look, we get in our way from really manifesting and achieving our goals. And one of the things that you got to do is just try it. I had a client this week, right? I mean, I'm telling you, Cicone, she was giving me excuse after excuse after excuse after excuse. Why does she didn't get something done? Right. And here's the crazy part about it, Cicone. She did an ad, because I had told her to do a Facebook ad, put it out there, and she said they didn't approve it. And I said, okay, but did you dispute it? And she said, no. And I said, why not? She said, well, I just felt like it did. I said, so you just gave up? Like, it was one time, like she didn't even I said, had you just disputed it, I said 9 times out of 10, in 30 minutes, they would have approved it and it would have been out there. So, Cicone, it's really challenging, right? Because again, we get into this comfort zone, right? And we hear this all the time. If you always do what you've always done, you'll always get what you have always gotten. And what people don't understand, that's facts. So if you want something different, you have to change some of your daily habits. And I think, Cicone, sometimes what happens is that we want to make changes in a lot of areas. Okay. And so when you want to make a lot of changes, you end up not doing anything. So I always tell people, set priorities. Take a look at, if it's 10 things that you say you want to do, prioritize them, right? Because what do you have to do? You now have to take, I call it, right, your jar, right, and put in your big rocks. Those are your top priorities, probably your top three, right?
Right.
And then from there, put in your small rocks. Next, you enter the sand, and
Right.
then you fill up the water. But you know what a lot of people do? We fill it up with water, and then now we can get the big rocks in, right?
Exactly.
So you want to, and it takes time, Cicone. And one of the things that I have found, I'm telling you, I've been doing this thing for a minute. Even when I was in corporate America, right? I was a coach. And the thing about it is that most times people need coaching. People need help to really push through it, right? To hold people accountable. And everybody just can't do it on their own. And guess what? That's okay, which is why people like me exist, right? To be able to help you get across the hump. So, I encourage everybody, if you do not have a coach today, if you don't have a mentor, these are two things that you got to have, right, to really help you reach your goals.
Right, right. And I know for a fact that having a coach is so important because they really push you beyond your limits. They help you find them first, but then they push you beyond your limits. And so I know how useful and needful that is. Well, KJ, if somebody wanted to get in contact with you, find out more about you, or just connect with you, how would they do that?
Yes, so you can find me. My website is kjsdstudio.com. You could also find me on social media, whether it's LinkedIn, or whether it's Facebook, whether it is Instagram by KJ Strategy Design Studio. So you can find me, just type it in, it'll pop up, and I'll be more than happy to help you.
Okay. And do you have a last word for our viewers?
Yes. So you know what, guys, I tell you this. Never give up. And I know you hear that all the time. But the key is, if you say you want it, right, your coach cannot want it more for you. Right. You must make the first move, and your coach will stay right by you, by your side. But again, if you say you want it, you got to go for it, because here's what I know for certain. You have it within you to achieve whatever it is God has given you as a vision. The key is take the first step and reach your goals.
That is so true. That is so true. And I tell my clients, I'm as committed to your goals as you are. Okay. I'm as committed as you are. I'm going to match your commitment. If you don't show up, hey. Right. But if you show up, I'm there for you. Yes. So listen, we have some more information that's going to be coming, in fact, later on in the show. But I want to thank KJ for being a part of this particular episode, and thank her for sharing her expertise. Listen, we're going to take a quick break, and we'll be right back.
The wait is finally over for Cicone's most anticipated book of the year, Leadership That Lasts, passing on 10 solid principles to ensure an enduring legacy. Powerful, effective, impactful, dynamic, phenomenal, transformative, life-changing. Available now in Amazon. Order yours today.
Hey, you want to be my new best friend? Listen, grab your phone and click on your iHeartRadio app. Then go to where it says search and type in Next Level Leadership Summit with Cicone Prince. Okay, they don't have it under that name just yet, but the link says iHeart.com/podcast slash 269 dash. Look, never mind. I'm going to put the link around this video, and you can click on that link and you can listen to my podcast on iHeartRadio. And don't forget to subscribe. Man, this is great. I'm running with the big dogs. Welcome back. Man, that interview with KJ Johnson showed you the importance of having a brand that was brandtastic. But I want to talk about that for a little bit because that reminds me of what I read in Proverbs 22, verse 1. And the word of the Lord reads, "A good name is rather to be chosen than great riches, and loving favor rather than silver and gold." Now, I know it doesn't say anything about a brand, but it talks about your name. And your brand should have a promise. It should have something associated with it, what you're known for. I remember somebody saying that there are three people you don't forget: the ones who got you in trouble, the ones who left you in trouble, and the ones who helped you in trouble. I'm going to say that again for those that are taking notes. Three people that you don't forget: the ones who got you in trouble, the ones who left you in trouble, and the ones who helped you in trouble. And so it is so important for us to understand the importance of having a good name. So when you think about how people view you and how they see you and what your name means, it makes a difference. I could mention somebody from your childhood right now that bullied you. I could mention their name and those feelings will come back about being bullied and antagonized by the individual. But I could also mention somebody that helped you, somebody that was a friend, somebody that was a trusted confidant. If I mention their name, they will bring other feelings, feeling of warmth and feeling of being loved and cared about. So what does your name stand for? What does it mean? What have you given the definition of your name? Because I'm telling you, there's somebody, when they call your name, they're going to have some emotion. They're going to have some thoughts and some feelings. But you have a say-so in how they view you and how they see you and what your name means. Hey, look, this is Cicone Prince of the CiconePrince.com show, and we are so excited because our show keeps getting better and better. Listen, we ask that you would like and share this video, and not only that, but tell your friends about us. Have them tune in because this show is going to make a difference in you becoming the best version of yourself. And I can't tell you how excited I am about our guest next week. You don't want to miss him either. So listen, we'll talk to you later. God bless. Bye.